My name is Lachi, I am a drag queen, and I will be teaching you in depth, very in depth, as deep as the Grand Canyon on how to do drag. So over the next couple months, I'm going to be teaching you step by step, the nitty gritty on how to do my drag face. Yes, I've done many makeup tutorials, but I was speaking to somebody and they were like, how do you do this? And I want to give you the in-depth tutorials of what I'm doing right now. So come along with me for the next 14 videos and I'll show you what I'm doing. So the steps we're going to be doing are skincare and primer, and hopefully after watching all those videos you'll be able to fully turn yourself into that drag queen that you've always been wanting. First things first is skincare and primer. So I have just shaved, which I can't teach you how to really do that, you kind of just need to know. So we're going to go straight in with a thick, huge layer of moisturizer. So this is probably the thing that you'll be replenishing most as a drag queen. I will also have in the description the link to all the products that I use and what type of product they are. So even if you don't want the specific one I have, which I don't know why you wouldn't, it might be out of your budget for right now or anything like that, you can get a similar product. I would recommend getting cheap stuff to begin with, and then once you get the technique on how to do drag makeup, then we can start investing in it, investing like it's worthwhile. Then you can start spending your money more carelessly on expensive stuff. But firstly, we are going to go in with this Ambrosier. Is that how you say it? I'm not too sure. I absolutely love this moisturizer. It is the concentrate one. So we put a very thick layer of that on. Drag makeup is like the Sahara. It's dry and everyone thinks they could do it until they get there and they realize it's a lot harder than it looks. So you might be thinking, we're done. No, we've got all the neck to do. And we also do a layer under the eyes just to really give it that moisture that it needs. This is allegedly what they use for all the Hollywood stars, but I would argue that they use filler as well, which I cannot legally or medically provide you with, but I can provide you with jokes. Now you might be thinking, Samuel, this looks crazy. And firstly, my name is not Samuel, it's Lachi. And secondly, well, yes, but you're gonna let this sit for like 10 minutes and reflect on the choices that you're making in your life. Be careful that it doesn't directly go into your eye, because I think that's what it's trying to do for me right now. So we are going to do a recovery mission of our eyelid space, but we are just gonna let that sit. And I'm honestly, between you and I, I'm gonna have a cup of tea. Literally 10 minutes, just let it soak up before we do the next step. Alrighty, so it's been about 10 minutes and as you can tell, it's really soaked in. So what we're gonna do next is primer. So primer is very important in some ways. In other ways, not so much. It's not gonna do your taxes for you. It's not gonna work for you, but you can make it work for you if you have pores, which hopefully all of you do, otherwise you might be a robot. And you know, Words Against Robots is really up and coming at the moment, so we have to make sure we're being nice to our overlords. So I have the Professional Pore Primer here. This was everywhere in 2016. If you were alive in 2016, does your back hurt? Do your knees hurt when you get up? Yeah? Are you okay? No. Let me answer that last one for you. Anyway, so this I find just fills in every single pore, every single crevice. Like the Grand Canyon, there's a callback to earlier. And so we just put that all over. Now, I do a pretty thin layer of that product just so it doesn't start pilling, and that is a huge problem. If you put too many products on your face, they all just will start not working together. It's kind of like too many cooks in the kitchen and it's just not gonna work. I do also put primer on my neck, but I will be honest, I don't use the super expensive one on my neck. I use that mainly on the nose, on the cheeks, on the chin, and the forehead. I've been getting a little bit of texture on the cheek as well, so I've done it there today. But the cheaper one, which is the Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser from Maybelline New York, I sometimes just use this on my neck as like a cheaper alternative, so I don't waste the super expensive product on my neck or on my back. You can put a bit on your ears as well. This is what it kind of looks like now. So why do we do these? Let's go into depth. Drag makeup is very drying on the skin. And if you don't put the moisture onto the skin, into the skin first, it's gonna crack. And it's gonna have a lot of creasing under the eyes. And actually, I'm gonna put another layer of the moisturizer on my under eye because I'm worried about it creasing. That's why we do moisturizer. because if you don't, then the makeup just doesn't sit very nicely on the face. It won't last as long and it will start to crack and it just doesn't look very good. And then the primer is for texture reasons. Now you can get like moisturizing primer and stuff like that, and I'm sure that's very helpful to some people out there. I, at least at this stage, very today, I don't know about tomorrow. But for right now, I like this one. I like this primer because I want to look like a porcelain doll. And by filling in the pores on my face with lotions and potions, I can help do that. So I will let this sit for another few minutes, and then we're gonna go into our next video, which is eyebrow coverage, which is probably the hardest step in drag makeup. So the main things about moisturizer and primer is use a lot of moisturizer, let it soak in. Give your skin the time to soak it in. The last little bits you can rub in and that's fine. Primer, make sure you don't use too much primer so it doesn't start pilling with the moisturizer. And sometimes products just don't mesh well together, and that's fine. You don't get along with everybody that you work with, do you? No, you don't even have a job. You're watching a how to do drag video. You don't have a job. And if you do have a job and you're here, you're probably a barista. Anyways, so yeah, those are the main things. If you have anti-redness creams and stuff, if you have a lot of redness in your face, you can, of course, use those. You can use different lotions and potions. I do when I go to bed and stuff like that, but for drag, I don't need 6 million lotions on my face. Let's go to video number 2. Thank you everyone so much for watching. My name is Lachi. I really do appreciate it. We're gonna learn drag together, and I'm excited.